The rules are also from 1923, which means no running or jumping and only 2 dribbles before you have to pass or shoot the ball.
Now forget Australia, forget that one game on Sunday night. Monday represented opening day for a majority of baseball, where hope springs eternal. The Cardinals want to improve on their runner-up status from the World Series last year. The Royals, on the other hand, looking to challenge for their division title.
A concussion occurs when a large force, such as another person or even the ground, hits your head and rattles your brain around.
Now, one area Coach Gary Pinkel has had a lot of success in is recruiting football players from the state of Texas. Now, the Tigers were dogs in this one, if you will, as Georgia was favored by 7 points before the game. But the Tigers had other plans between the hedges. Hey, Pinkel, you think visors are cool? You're going to find something new when you come to Sanford Stadium in 2013. Good evening, everybody. It's a tired old storyline, but the Missouri Tigers hosted Gary Pinkel's old team, the Toledo Rockets, today. After cruising to an easy win last week against Murray State, the Tigers had a tougher road ahead of them today.
Chelsea Thomas and Mizzou softball have been synonymous with each other for the past 5 years. Now, the freshmen might be feeling a little bit of pressure to follow in the footsteps of arguably Mizzou's greatest softball player of all time. But Coach Earlywine says the only way they'll be able to have success is to stay true to themselves.
Good morning, everybody. Jordan Clarkson, we hardly knew you. As expected, Clarkson is leaving the Missouri basketball program early to enter for the upcoming NBA draft. Clarkson gives up his senior season at Mizzou to go pro. Clarkson played just 1 year at Missouri after transferring from Tulsa. He averaged about 18 points and 4 assists per game, ranking second on the team in scoring and leading the Tigers in assists. Clarkson scored in double figures in 34 of 35 games, quite the season. While the Tigers learn of Clarkson's departure, they also await a decision from his backcourt partner, Jabari Brown, who has until April 28th to declare for the NBA draft. Johnny Cueto on the hill for the Reds, Adam Wainwright for the Cardinals. This was an old-fashioned take 10 paces pitchers duel. Both pitchers had fantastic games on the hill. Top third, Cueto gets Matt Carpenter looking. Cueto finished with 8 strikeouts on the game, but Wainwright says, anything you can do, I can do better. Got a strikeout of Billy Hamilton. Wainwright finished with 9 strikeouts, only gave up 3 hits and no runs. Still in the bottom third, Wainwright facing former MVP Joey Votto, gets the slow tapper. Nice play by Yadier Molina to get the 2-6-3 double play. And in the 7th, in a game like this, all it takes is 1 shot. Yadier Molina deep into left field. He's getting the solo shot off Cueto. The Cardinals have a slim lead, 1-0, but that might be all they need. Bottom of the 8th, with 2 on 2 out, Carlos Martinez. What a pitch right there. Gets Todd Frazier looking, and the Cardinals go on to win it 1-0. Next up, the Royals, the Tigers to take on the reigning AL Central champs. A chance to show the Royals are for real. Bottom second, though, Victor Martinez with a solo bomb into right field. That puts the Tigers up 1-0. Shields had a decent game, 6 1/3 innings, gave up 3 earned runs. In the top of the 4th inning, 1 on for Salvador Perez. What a game he's going to have, folks. Doubles down the left field line. That brings Alex Gordon around to tie the score up at 1. First time the Royals scored on opening day since 2011. That's 22 innings, folks, in between scoring opportunities. Justin Verlander definitely not happy with that. The Tigers tied it at 3 in the 7th. Now in the bottom of the 9th, 3-3, Alex Gonzalez with a walk-off single on Wade Davis. The Royals come up a little short in opening day, but don't worry, they've got 161 games left. After Selection Sunday, Missouri is the number 2 seed in the NIT. The Missouri Tigers did not receive a bid to the NCAA tournament, but they will play in the NIT. The Tigers will host the Davidson Wildcats Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Now, the Tigers were dogs in this one, if you will, as Georgia was favored by 7 points before the game. But the Tigers had other plans between the hedges. Hey, Pinkel, you think visors are cool? You're going to find something new when you come to Sanford Stadium in 2013. First quarter, no score. Georgia strikes first with this Aaron Murray pass to freshman running back Brendan Douglas. Dogs up 7-0 early, but Missouri responds on the very next drive. And James Franklin says, if you give me some daylight, I'll take it to the house. Ties it up at 7 in the first quarter. And in the second quarter, Mizzou's vaunted offense continues its attack on Georgia. Franklin finds LaDamian Washington in the corner of the end zone for a beautiful touchdown pass to put the Tigers up. And Missouri is 18th in the nation in rushing yards. And here's a little reason why. Good blocking and a relentless run by Marcus Murphy That's Mizzou with 36 yards score and gives them a 21-10 lead in the second quarter. Oh, and that defense's turnover streak? Yeah, that's still a thing. Shane Ray forced a sack and fumble, and reigning defensive lineman of the week, Michael Sam, scoops it up and returns it for a huge score, 28-10 Mizzou heading into the half. Can't expect Georgia to stay out of it, though, as Aaron Murray throws a pass to Chris Conley to bring them closer. And then everything continued to go downhill. James Franklin caught up on this play, got rid of the ball, but injured as he's thrown to the ground, heads to the locker room for the remainder of the game with a separated shoulder. So here comes the redshirt freshman, Matty Mock. And what better way to get your young QB comfortable than a little bit of trickery, a screen pass to Bud Sasser, who uncorks a beautiful deep ball to LaDamian Washington, who hauls it in for the score. Here's a replay of that play at a different angle. And what a play call by the Tigers to get their stagnant offense going. 34-26 after the missed point after attempt. Murray trying to carry the Dogs back in this one, but with your top two running backs and receivers out, there's only so much you can do. Randy Ponder with the pickoff, and Missouri with the win over a top 10 team, 41-26. Last time Missouri did that was 1981 at Mississippi State. In case you didn't stay up late to watch the 4-hour and 47-minute game between the Cardinals and Dodgers last night, Cardinals won 3-2. Carlos Beltran was the hero last night as he drove in all three of St. Louis's runs and made a couple of big plays on defense as well to keep that game going in extra innings. Cardinals and Dodgers played today at 3 o'clock, just 15 hours or so after a 13-inning game wrapped up last night. Michael Wacha looks to follow up on his stellar start against Pittsburgh. Top of the first, Wacha strikes out Yasiel Puig to end the inning. That was one of Wacha's 8 strikeouts on the day. Bottom fifth, David Freese finally gets the Cards offense going with a double into left off of Kershaw. That's going to bring home the first run of the game and really, or rather puts him on second base. Later on, he's going to be at third. It's going to be John Jay who's going to hit a ball into left field. Carl Crawford with the catch and a little off target going to home plate. Freese scores the first run of the game to give the Cardinals the lead 1-0. And Wacha striking out a batter here to end a threat in the 6th inning to get out of a jam. Next batter, Juan Uribe, also goes down swinging. Wacha finished with 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits and no runs. Top of the 9th, Trevor Rosenthal strikes out Andre Ethier for a 1-2-3 9th. The Redbirds take a 2-0 series lead over the Dodgers by a score of 1-0.
Many people felt would be high scoring.
Franklin goes into the end zone. They give it to Murphy, and the scat back. Full head is coming. It's caught.
A single turnover could be the difference in the game. Sure enough, in the second quarter,
Show blitz. Here they come. Oh, it's picked out of the air. This could be a touchdown. Heading the other way. Tony Ely. Touchdown, Missouri.
that play not only extended the defense's turnover streak, it also gave the Tigers interceptions returned for touchdowns in consecutive games.
To the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the house. Touchdown, Missouri.
Defensive coordinator Dave Steckel preaches turnovers in practice, but he can only talk so much. It's up to the players to put those words into action.
I just think we're being aggressive. I think we're using the fundamentals that all the other coaches are teaching and stuff, and we're doing a great job of vision and breaking it on the football. So you got to attribute to our kids being able to see the ball.
Well, Coach Dick and the rest of the defensive coaches, they preach takeaways, and that's when we go out there and practice, and we try to get as many takeaways as possible. We try to get at least 6, 7 takeaways practice, and, you see how it happens in the game.
Ely took his first career interception in for a touchdown, and then linebackers Darvin Ruiz and Kentrell Brothers picked off their first passes at Mizzou as well. Pinkel doesn't know what makes his team so good at forcing turnovers, but he doesn't seem to mind. On one condition.
Well, we need more. So whatever that is, we need more.
It's one of the most exciting things that can happen in a football game.
Underneath, McKissick catches it. Flag on the play as he's brought down at the 46.
The big hit. Rugby has a lot of contact as well, so why are concussions a major issue in football, but not in rugby?
Rugby players don't have helmets, and so the way that they tackle is completely different. They tackle more with their body and dragging people down rather than leading directly with their head and tackling somebody.
In football, you're taught to put your helmet on the ball because that helps us lodge it, to just an aiming point, whatever. In rugby, you're not wearing your pads, so if you put your helmet, there's no helmet. You put your head on the ball and hurt your head, You're taught to put your head away from the ball.
A concussion occurs when a large force, such as another person or even the ground, hits your head and rattles your brain around. Dr. Gray says this changes the blood flow and the chemical composition of your brain, but not the structure, making it impossible to see concussions on an MRI or CAT scan. On top of that, concussion symptoms are not universally recognizable.
Concussions are very individualized, and that's what makes diagnosing them very difficult. And probably one of the toughest things that I have to do on a sideline as a physician covering sports is, decide when an athlete has a concussion versus when they don't. Some athletes will have more of a headache or dizziness, while others will feel more like they're in a fog or kind of dazed.
A Purdue University study published in the Journal of Neurotrauma estimates there's between 43,000 and 67,000 high school football players who suffer from concussions every year. And those are just the reported cases. The doctors who published the study said that if you include unreported concussions, there could be more than 100,000 cases each year. Pascal believes that number is higher than we know.
In football, in high school, concussions are pretty common, but I think the scary thing is in high school football, these aren't trained doctors and professionals, and a lot of these coaches have egos, and a lot of these kids are high school kids, so they just want to show out. A lot of them do go undiagnosed, and there are kids that knowing what we know now, probably did have concussions that just played through or didn't get it treated all the way.
So if rugby players have to tackle differently due to a lack of padding, it seems fair to think football helmets could be a part of the problem. Is the tool used to guard against skull fractures creating an entirely new issue?
I just feel like football helmets are inherently flawed. I don't know why they make it out of such hard material on the outside. I get for the protective measure of it, but when you hit the ground or you hit another helmet, it's two solid objects. There's nothing there to absorb the impact. It's soft padding on the inside, but it still resonates. So it's like a bill. It's like a giant bill on your head.
Football helmets, those are made to prevent skull fractures, but they're not made to prevent concussions. And so we just don't currently have, materials as far as soft foams and padding that can stop that, but then also that's hard enough on the outside to prevent a skull fracture. And a lot of people don't think that we'll ever be able to make a perfect helmet.
Tom Casselman, KOMU-8 Sports, Columbia.
Number 6, Tevin Coleman, the ball carrier.
Football team are playing Baylor's Getterman Classic this weekend. KOMU-8's Tom Casselman reports on the Tigers' 2 freshman pitchers.
She was dominant, setting school records in both wins and strikeouts. But for the first time in 5 years, the Tigers are without Chelsea Thomas. But there are 2 new freshmen on the roster to pitch, and neither of them are shy about the pressure that lies ahead.
We're excited. We're excited for everything that Chelsea did, and we're excited to start our own journey and take it the next 4 years. And so, no pressure, just really excited to, finally be here and be out there.
She was an amazing pitcher and someone that I, even coming in, when I first verbaled here, someone I looked up to, and she was an amazing role model on and off the field. And so I'm kind of excited to even step on the same mound as her, all that kind of stuff, but also kind of do my own thing.
Last season, Chelsea Thomas was the only pitcher on Mizzou's roster. This year, Coach Earlywine has multiple pitchers to go to, which means greater flexibility and some peace of mind as well.
I wouldn't have had the appreciation that I have for it now had I not gone through the Chelsea Thomas situation last year. I'm really, really grateful for it after having gone through a lot of sleepless nights last year on who's going to pitch tomorrow type of questions.
The Tigers will surely miss a pitcher who is arguably the best player this team has ever had, but the new players are eager to write a narrative all of their own. In Columbia, Tom Casselman, KOMU-8 Sports.